Welcome back to War Weekly News. This week, 1.7 has been heating up, so hit that subscribe button. We got a lot to talk about. Starting off with the tank information, we got a dev blog for the T-80U, which is going to be the Soviet rank 7 tank. And this thing looks pretty fierce, having Contact 5 second generation explosive reactive armor that apparently is useful against not only chemical rounds but solid rounds as well, giving it power to withstand 620 millimeters of kinetic energy and 1000 millimeters of chemical. No word on exactly how much that will be when the Contact 5 has already exploded, and there are quite a few gaps in between the Contact 5. Overall, it's a very neat modern tank. The interesting parts are things that were going on in the comments. The top comment asked, "What about Japan, Italy, and France?" A moderator replied with, "Stay tuned to La News," a French joke obviously implying we're going to get some for France, but nothing has surfaced since. However, Sim1080p replied with, "Japan already has the excellent Type 90. We will have some news on things for other nations," which heavily implies that the Type 90 is going to be Japan's rank 7 vehicle, though not outrightly confirms it. Now, if you're an enthusiast of Japanese tanks, you might be a bit disappointed. However, I got some other news for you. War Thunder Japan posted a video on Twitter of a countdown timer and then some random images flashing. And it's far too hard to tell exactly what those images are from just watching the video, but if you slow things down, you notice one of the images is the hangar in War Thunder with a vehicle in it. For me, it's pretty easy to tell this is indeed the Type 74G. It's easy to spot because of the ring on its back wheel. The ring is there to keep the track from falling off. This announcement set off a lot of Japanese tanks enthusiasts to be psyched for the vehicle coming and go talk about it on the forums, having someone else ask, why are people so hyped for this vehicle? It's really just a Type 74 with another shell and maybe some side skirts. And the store team dude replied with, because there's nothing else Japan will get on high-ish tiers for tanks in the foreseeable future, so they are happy even about this addition. Which maybe was originally made to defend those interested in the vehicle, but really kind of crushed their spirits a lot, saying, hey, you ain't getting anything new for a good long while, which is very disappointing. Now back to the T-80U comments. A user asked, "Where's Leo 285?" and Sim1080p replied with, "Probably still in Germany last time I checked." Now this joke answer isn't too out of the question for Sim1080p. He makes quite a few of them. However, perhaps it's just conspiracy theory, but back in 1.79, when DevBlogs before that were coming out, in reply to people asking, "Where's the Leo 2?" Sim1080p replied with joke answers. And now, when asking for Leo 285, we are once again getting joke answers. So perhaps there's a pattern here. Maybe even Leo 285 will already have a devlog by the time this video is done rendering, because it takes forever. The final ground forces related devlog was for a new map, Alaska. Personally, I find it kind of weird to have a map representing the Battle of Anchorage without China being like legitimately in the game. Although I guess we had an Italian map without Italy legitimately in the game. I'm assuming this is also hinting towards Liberty Prime to be added to the US tree. I wonder what the other nations will get. Some more vigilant players noticed that not only are the signs illuminated on the roads, opposed to how we have them now on, say, American desert, but this one cafe sign seems to have a reflection in a puddle nearby, leaving many to assume perhaps there will be an engine update involving ray tracing and the other feature that the new NVIDIA graphics cards have. Gaijin had made use of other AMD graphical abilities in the past and have even altered them to work on AMD cards, if I recall correctly. So perhaps you'll find some form of ray tracing in the future that doesn't require you to have the top of the line cards. In the comments of the Alaska dev blog, a user by the name of Nameless, hey, I know you, made a well-articulated comment about, despite the maps looking beautiful, Vietnam is terribly designed, and that this being a reality makes it so you cannot be hyped for other maps. An administrator replied with, "Ouch, but okay, that's not a bad idea. Map design is a fascinating topic. I'll see if we can develop a map design dev blog in the next update. Maybe have a chat about it and smooth things out." Which is overall great. They haven't made a dev blog about map design yet, and I'm not sure what they mean by next update. Maybe they mean this update or one after this. But personally, I don't entirely care your philosophy behind map design. I just want good maps. So how about fix Vietnam, please? It visually looks great. I love driving to the village. It's just horribly unbalanced in multiple ways. I would have to dedicate a whole little video to it because it would just make this one unnecessarily long. The final bit that has anything to do with ground vehicles is battle rating changes are finally coming, and overall I'm a bit disappointed in them because they seem very lackluster. The big ones being that the Italia M42 Spag and Lunchbox are swapping places. IS-7 is going up to 8.3, Tiger II 105 is going down to 6.7, OF-40 is going down to 7.7, automatic is going up to 9.3. A large chunk of the Italian self-propelled guns are getting down-tiered minor bits. The Italian Lunchbox with recoilless rifles on top is going up to 7.0. The Centauro is going up to 8.0. The Jumbo is going up to 5.0, and the Jumbo 76 is going up to 6.0. In arcade, the T29 and T34 are going up to 7.0, but not in any other mode. The T32E1 is going up to 7.3, which is unfortunately going to break up my awesome 7.0 lineup I have. The T28 is going up to 6.7, but only in arcade. The M60A1 Rise P is going down to 8.7. The MBT70 and KPZ70 are going down to 9.0 to make sure 8.0 is extremely balanced. Chieftain Mark 10 is going down to 9.0. The CA Lorraine is going up to 6.3. The Lorraine 40T, having almost 300 millimeters of penetration on a very quick chassis with a real good reload, is going up to 7.3. Maybe that's not enough of a balance for you, but don't worry, Gaijin has you covered. AMX30, despite being rather balanced where it is, not overperforming at all and not underperforming, is going up to 7.7. Oh, and AMX50 going up to 7.0, only in arcade. Perhaps you disagree with a few of those suggested battle ratings. Well, you're in luck because I believe you still have plenty of time to go and make your own suggested changes, as that's what they do when they throw out new battle ratings. No guarantee they'll listen to you, but it's best to give your 2 cents. There will be a link in the description, as I usually do to everything else if you care. In terms of aircraft, the Germans are receiving their first rank 6 jet, a MiG-19S, a faster, better maneuvering MiG-19 with better ground strike capabilities, although no air-to-air missiles. Understandably, this has bugged quite a few USSR abuse. I say don't worry, it's very likely that we'll see the MiG-19S in the Russian tree, probably a patch after this one. It's not unusual for Gaijin to add vehicles. Think of it in the same way as how they did it with the 84. The French got it a patch before the US did for whatever reason. And yes, Germany will receive a rank 5 premium to assist in grinding for this new MiG-19. The other jet that got a devblog was the Hawk FGA.6. A very cool looking jet that happened to serve in multiple different nations, including Germany. Now it's, hey, even possible maybe Germany's rank 5 premium will be the Seahawk itself. That'd be pretty neat. Overall, its armament seemed expansive, but compared to many other high-ranking ground attackers, it's not that amazing. The final aerial devblog was of the PBM-3 Mariner, which is the vehicle for the current naval event that's going on, which I forgot to make a video on. And I've talked about this plane far too many times. It's a boat plane bomber, got some 50 cals. I'll talk about it when the other variants get devlogs, if they do. There were some more missiles found in the files, precisely R13M and R13M1s, which are missiles that I'm pretty sure are exclusively used on MiG-21s. Now, people got pretty psyched about this. Yeah, MiG-21 coming. I kind of already covered about how there was a missile in the files that was used by MiG-21, so this isn't really too exciting for me. And also, apparently, these missiles have been in the files since 1.85. So once again, nothing actually new. Also, to kill the hype down a little bit, came from the store team dude, made a definitive claim on this that MiG-21 is not coming this patch and not coming in 1.89 either. So with all these files popping up, I'm saying they're coming eventually. Maybe that's what's gonna be the big 2.0 patch that we get in like a year. In the terms of naval stuff, there was first a dev blog for the Leningrad class destroyer, which is also an event reward. I've talked about in the past, it's not too amazing, but if you do the event, you get a free destroyer. Destroyer gameplay, in my opinion, is the best part of naval, so if you don't have one yet, I'd say look forward to it. The next naval dev blog was of the Somers class destroyer, which is a US destroyer armed with 8 127mm cannons and a good amount of torpedoes. It looks like a pretty alright ship, pretty large, which I like big boats, but it was totally blown out of the water, pun intended, by the later announced USS Brooklyn, armed with 15 6-inch guns and having 127mm of belt armor and 51mm of deck armor. This ship is better than every other German light cruiser. So it begs the question, what's the next step? how is Germany gonna match this threat? The only solution I could see is adding another type of ship. But as I said, this one's better than every other German light cruiser. Perhaps there's one that I'm not aware of. The funny bit though is that the lightest German heavy cruiser heavily outguns the Brooklyn class. So I'm very curious to see where this power creep is going to take us. The final devblog type thing was a Q&A about the Ballistics update. And honestly, if you've been keeping up with the channel, they didn't clarify anything new. It's just regurgitating stuff that has been said in the past. So essentially, they're sticking with their position. We're going to keep the unhistorical penetrations. I've already said my piece on this, so that's that. Remember last week when I talked about how alconafter did a stream where he hinted towards a lot of things? Well, he did another stream, and he didn't hint towards things this time. He had interviewed BVVD, the Gaijin dev. Now, this interview was very long and hit a lot of really important beats. But I don't want to cover every answer because that'll take forever, so I'm going to throw out a few that interest me, and it'll be a link in the description if you wish to read the rest of them, which I suggest you do because there's some interesting stuff here. The first important factor that I would bring to attention is that they were discussing the armor of the turret of the Challenger 2 and how it's classified. So how'd they get any idea on how powerful it was? And what they did is they took images of when it was in development without the composite armor on yet, and then took images of with its composite armor on, and then they just paired the two to judge how much stuff was in there completely. And it's not an exact measurement, but typically they get pretty close. It's how they've been doing it with just about all the modern tanks that they don't have documents on. Next question I want to jump to was the first about helicopters. BVVD replied to a question concerning air defense systems. He said that they essentially wanted to find a way to nerf helicopters because right now they just sit in the sky and can shoot down ATGMs and murder everyone. They're thinking about making it so either SPAGs have better radar or to implement more guided missile systems. And I think he was actually just implying ATGMs of the sort, but also maybe other guided missiles. Maybe. That's just me trying to read in between the lines. But the discussion continued further about how Russia has a bunch of them and the US has some of them. There's this one odd statement saying, yes, but they still have at least a 120mm cannon with multi-purpose projectiles, cumulative sub-caliber with proximity fuse, leading many to assume that they're talking about the M1A1. Like, I can't think of many other 120mm cannons that the US used. Besides that, the rest of the questions and answers aren't too exciting, in my personal opinion, and I don't want this video to be 7 years long. Now on to more speculative news. Apparently, posted on Wakanda VK blog, was essentially a list of the things that are coming, not names of things, just the types of vehicles, but starting out saying that there was planned several cool technology. Location Alaska will be decent size. USSR will get a destroyer, a light cruiser, a tank, and a cool car. And I'm assuming the destroyer is counting the one from the event. Maybe it's not, but we did get a tank so far. US is going to get a destroyer, which we got, a light cruiser, which we got, car with ATGM, and plane. Germany will get a destroyer, light cruiser, and plane. Britain will get light cruiser, plane, and tank. Italy will get plane and tank. France will get a bomber. Japan will get plane and tank, which is probably the Type 74G or Kai or whatever it's called. And then there's some extra notes, but they seemed kind of cryptic, just talking about some technology, which I'm assuming would be a engine update. There's this more direct leak list saying that the Leo 2A4C, Ariete, Leclerc, M1A1, Challenger 2, Type 10, T80U, B47, TU22, and TU16 would be coming. This also apparently came from the VK blogs and is oddly familiar. Although I'm pretty open to believe that this is a really well done guest list. With the way that the game has been going, it wouldn't be surprising to see things like the Challenger 2 or the TU80U. There's been a lot going on in the changelog. On the 19th, the Hago, H35, and FCM-36 were added back to the game, although to unlock them, you had to first get the rank 2 and their respective trees. On the 21st, nothing much important happened. And on the 22nd, there was some major changes. The Gaijin market came usable to Netherlands and Belgium players once again. However, they cannot purchase keys or chests, as those are illegal in those areas, loot boxes. But also, the pilot injury effect has been removed, although the notification would remain in the game till the day of this recording. Kind of odd odd to not get that at the same time, but programming can get weird sometimes. Some final news is that there are now user tournaments to be had, and Gaijin will even supply rewards for the victor. And another World War test is coming up on the 28th at 9 in the morning PST. Those both seem pretty cool, but unfortunately I'm not a very big esports player, and they're mostly esports type things. I believe that's just about everything this week. If you have any comments or concerns, or if I missed anything this week, you can hit me up down below or on my Discord. If you liked this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like the video, don't hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. I make these news videos every Sunday. I make brand new videos throughout the week, and I like to stream on Saturdays. So hit that bell icon to be notified anytime I upload anything. Thanks for watching, and I hope you had a great day.